Hi everyone, I'm Danielle with Trinity Readings. We are going to do a quick energy check-in, and this is going to be for Capricorn. Keep in mind these are general readings, so take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If you find that the reading doesn't resonate, you can always check your moon, rising, or Venus placements, because sometimes those will resonate more. And I do offer personal readings. You can get all that information in the description box. All right, Capricorn, so we are just going to check in on your energy real quick. I say real quick, but it never ends up being quick, right? We're just going to see what's going on with your energy, what's coming towards you, what you need to be aware of. We're going to start by getting some messages from your guides, seeing what your guides are wanting you to know most of all right now. What is the strongest message that is wanting to come through for Capricorn? If you're struggling financially, let go of focusing on the lack that you let go of focusing on how much money you feel you need. I know that seems very simplistic, but the more you focus on lack, the more you will manifest lack. So if you're struggling with money, try to shift your focus elsewhere. I know that's not easy, but try to start shifting your focus, because everything that you're putting energy and focus towards is magnifying it, right? And so if the majority of what you're focused on is lack and what's going wrong and what you don't have, you're just magnifying more of that. I'm also hearing to be careful of the phrases or the sayings that maybe you say consistently or very often. Like if you're constantly saying, oh, I'm so tired of being broke, or everything's so expensive, or things of that nature, be careful of saying things like that, because everything you say is manifesting, right? Okay, so I feel like you may have this strong desire right now to, get something accomplished, get something taken care of. Maybe even like you're feeling very protective. You're feeling very protective of your energy. You might be feeling like you need to assert your power or assert your strength or something like that. But I feel like that might be the opposite of what you're really needing to do right now. You've got the path of least resistance message, and I know for Capricorn, it's a message of like you need to follow the path that is going to give you the least resistance right now. And it's not necessarily like taking the easy way out or anything like that, but it's like you don't want to put yourself in too many situations or positions that you're going to have to be like fighting too aggressively, or you have too much coming against you right now. And it's like, instead of trying to aggressively go after something or aggressively respond to something or evenly aggressively protect yourself, respond to all things with love. Like, look at every situation that you're dealing with through the eyes of love, through the eyes of your, not necessarily emotions. You don't want to see it through your emotions, because sometimes our emotions are up and down, but through the eyes of compassion, forgiveness. And that is not to say that you need to kind of just be meek and humble and let people run all over you. It's not anything like that. But I do feel that if there's something that you're wanting to accomplish right now, the best way to get this to move easily for you, the best way to accomplish this easily at this time is to look at it from a more love-based perspective. Look at the situation with more compassion, especially compassion for yourself, and understand that now's not really now might not be the time to fight for anything. Now might be the time to just sit more in, receptive mode, receiving mode. And that is something to keep in mind. As a Capricorn, you just naturally have that hard work ethic, right? You're going to be the type of person that when you want to get something done, your mind space goes to putting in the work, putting in 100% effort. You value putting in work, and you're likely to work a lot, put in a lot of effort, and not give yourself as much time to relax and sit in receiving mode. But relaxing and being in that space of peace and not doing anything, that's the time that you are in receiving mode. That's the time that you are able to receive the things that you want. And so it is important for you especially to make sure you're giving yourself that balance, right? Make sure that you're giving yourself time to relax and to pamper yourself, and giving yourself time to acknowledge your emotions, to acknowledge your emotional needs, to acknowledge your feelings. Let me see if we can get any further on what this message is saying, what's going on with your energy. Pay attention to your energy levels. If you're finding that you're getting tired and fatigued more often than not, then that is a sign that obviously, I know that's simple, but you're putting in too much work. You're putting in too much effort. You're not giving yourself enough time and space to kind of, relax and be at peace. For some of you, I feel like there's something, there's a situation that you might be dealing with. It's like a very, it's almost like a distraction. It's something coming in and it's very flashy and it looks appealing, and you instantly kind of move in that direction. And I feel like it's something that's happening maybe for some of you pretty consistently. It might be a person in your life that has the ability or a tendency to kind of like distract you from what your goals are, or it might even be like in the way that a certain person is communicating with you. If you do feel like there's somebody in your life that is like very flighty, when they're communicating with you, it's never like an equal kind of, you know, exchange of communication, exchange of valuable information. It's always like flittering from like one topic to the next, right? Or when you go to this person to talk about something or to talk about something important, by the end of the conversation, it's kind of like drifted off to something completely different. If you're dealing with somebody like that, I feel like it's something that you're already like very much aware of. You might be questioning like, why is this person like this? Or you're wanting to have a more grounded relationship with this person, but they're very flighty. I feel like in order to create some sort of energy for change in this relationship, you have to be more protective of your, like, not let this person distract you. Like when this person is saying something that's kind of going off course, like be more willing to kind of call it out in the moment. Let me see. I also feel for some of you, there's something that has caught your eye. There's something that you've been very drawn to for a long time, but I don't feel that maybe you've had a lot of time and energy to put into it, or you haven't been able to kind of get a grasp on whatever this is. And I feel like it's like if something is grabbing your attention consistently, it's almost like you've been an observer of something that you've wanted for a long time, and it's almost like your guides are kind of giving you permission to move towards it, or have more confidence in moving towards it. I kind of feel that there's another message here to let go of committing yourself to promises. Committing yourself to the hopes of what something could be. Is this like for some of you, it's like for some of you in your relationships with other people, it's like you're following another person's rules, or wanting to get some sort of structure, but like you're being like overly flexible with this person, and they're not being flexible enough, or vice versa. It could even be that like there's things that you're wanting, and you're a stickler for these things that you want, and a stickler for a way of doing things, but there's times that you're just tired, and so you slack off on certain things. But every time you slack off on those certain things, it spins you back around into this kind of negative cycle. Like you're wanting more consistency in a relationship, and so you're putting in all this work to get consistency, but every weekend, like all the rules kind of go out the window. And so you compromise and then end up getting frustrated afterwards. Like if you're going to have a set of rules and a set of standards, then you need to be able to stick with them consistently, right? Let me see. There's a lot of messages here. I'm sorry. It's like there's a need to be more open and flexible in certain areas. But also a need to, it's like there's areas that you're being too flexible in, and then areas that you're not being flexible enough in. Like if it's important to you, if there's values that are important to you, if there's needs that are important to you, then that should always be a priority, right? You shouldn't bend from the things that are important to you. Okay. Okay. I get it. It makes sense now. Okay. So I feel like this is for most of you, this is, you know, for your romantic relationship, for a relationship that you're dealing with, but this might also be like other people that you're dealing with in your life. But I feel like you have this path forward. You have these goals, right? Within the relationship you're in, you're wanting it to move forward in a certain direction, or, you know, you have a specific goal or whatever with this relationship. You want a commitment, you want long-term commitment, you want to feel like you're moving forward, you want to have better communication, whatever it is in this relationship that you have. Like you have these goals of what you want, you have this vision of what you want, and you're like putting in the work to get what you want. But I feel like when it comes to the person that you're dealing with, it's almost like for whatever reason, you're feeling like you can't be direct with this person. Like you're not really being direct with them about what it is you want, what your expectations are. Or it might even be that when you're having conversations with this person, or you're approaching this person or approaching this situation, you're trying to do it in a loving way, in a way that's going to make this person feel comfortable. You know, you might be the one kind of throwing up like the flashy bells and whistles and whatever. Like, for example, you have somebody in your life that is a really close friend. You've been connected for a long time, and you really want a commitment. You really want to start, moving towards a more solid relationship with this person, but you're not sure how this person is going to take that. And so instead of being direct with that person, you might be doing things like trying to express to them what a good partner you are in a relationship. And, oh, it would be nice to be in a relationship with me, huh? Because I'm this and this and this, right? And I feel like that's like how you're dealing with certain situations, because you're not wanting to like put it out there what you want, and feel like you're forcing anything. You want this person to feel like it's their decision or whatever, but so you're trying to hint around, right? You're still leaving the decision. It's like you're wanting something specific, but you're still leaving the decision-making process up to another person. And you're trying to kind of speak to them or communicate to them or relate to them in a way that is going to like sweeten up the deal, like make them want to make that offer, right? And it's all well and good. It seems like a great plan, but it's passive aggressive communication, right? You're not being direct. And the thing is, a lot of people aren't intuitive. A lot of people don't read between the lines. A lot of people like deal with life with what is right in front of them, with what is being communicated with them. And so I feel like it's like you're seeing some potential in something, whether it be a person, you're wanting something more solid, right? And you're wanting something more grounded, but you're not wanting to communicate it directly, or there's apprehension in communicating it directly. But I do want to say, whatever is going on within this relationship or this situation, the energy is moving forward the energy is moving very fast. And I feel like you're already on this like very fast momentum moving forward, right? I feel like the connection that you're dealing with, the relationship that you're dealing with, I feel like you and this person are on the same page. You both want the same thing. But it's like you have in some aspect, like set up expectations for this person to be the one to make the first move, or for this person to do something in a certain way. Like you have a picture of how you want this person to approach the situation. And I feel like that in and of itself is making it more difficult for you to have what you want than you realize. You feel like you're doing things the right way. And it's not to say that you're doing things the wrong way. Like you feel like you're being direct. You feel like, you might even feel like, you're following like traditional types of rules. Like if you're a feminine energy, you might be saying, well, it's the man's job to do A, B, and C. And so I'm just going to wait for the man to do that, right? You're following these certain set of rules, but you're not being direct. Like you're not being completely direct. And so because of that, it's just kind of spinning you in a cycle. And what you don't realize, you feel like you're doing that in a way to follow the structure of things, like follow how things are supposed to go. But you're really doing this because of a protective wound, right? What you're trying to protect yourself from putting yourself out there and getting hurt in all reality, right? You have all 4 twos here. And so it's about balancing, bringing balance, bringing harmony. So if you feel like you're always getting breadcrumbed from this person, what you need to understand is in some aspect, you might be giving that person the same energy, right? If you are doing and saying certain things in hopes of this person stepping forward and offering commitment, then it's still not like authentic energy, right? You're giving this person, certain types of communication or certain types of energy with the intention that you are going to get something in return, right? And so even though the intentions are good, your heart is in the right place, you're following this certain set of rules, it energetically, it's not a balanced exchange of energy. And if you're dealing with another person specifically, I feel like you feel that things should be very obvious, but I feel like this person is kind of spinning in circles and not really sure what to do. And I feel like you and this person both are kind of in this energy of like, which way do I go? You're both like not really knowing how to get this relationship grounded. And so with judgment being your guidance, it's like, get everything out in the open. That is the path of least resistance, right? Completely speaking your truth, completely being direct, even though it might feel a little bit uncomfortable, it's better to have everything out in the open. And even if it's things that you think that I'm not supposed to be opening up to these things because that's not the rules of the relationship, that's fine. If you don't feel that that's necessary, that's fine. But in the same process, if you're doing things or saying things in hopes of getting a certain type of reaction in return, it's still not being done the right way, right? And again, I'm not saying that you're doing anything wrong. I'm just saying that if you're wanting more balance within this relationship, I feel like with the person that you're dealing with, you and this person again are on the same page. You might be dealing with somebody who is also a Capricorn or also a very strong earth sign, right? And so, people who are very strong earth signs, they're more practical. They're more about the routine. They're not, about saying things directly. And so you might be, dealing with somebody who is very similar to you. So let me see a little bit more. Yeah, you're wanting some sort of shift. You're wanting some sort of transformation. You're wanting to kind of level up. But I feel like you're feeling like you're not going to get that. You're worried about if you take that step to move forward or to bring in a change, that you might lose something. So if it's a relationship with another person, like you're ready to take it to the next level, or you want to expand in this relationship, you're wanting to get out of the dating energy and get into commitment, but you're worried that if you approach that this person might reject you, and just that worry alone is creating more resistance, or there's just some kind of change that you're ready for in general, but you feel that in stepping into this change that it might mean that you're going to lose somebody or lose something. But again, the energy is moving forward very, very fast. Yeah, the energy is moving forward very fast, and there's this kind of opening to get things going in the direction that you want, like in a really fast way. But I do feel that if you keep moving in the same routine, like the routine that you've been in, it's keeping things balanced in some aspect, but it's lacking the communication of the truth. And because of that, it's just keeping it in this kind of routine type of balance. Yeah, and Queen of Swords is like, just speak your truth. Just be more direct. Even if it's going to be uncomfortable, that is what is going to benefit you the most right now and get you the outcome that you want, this 10 of Pentacles outcome. It's going to get you the outcome you want. Being direct is going to give you the outcome that you want. That's the path of least resistance. And when you're being more open and being more direct, don't look at it in the sense that, oh, this might not go well. Look at it from the eyes of love. Have compassion for yourself. Have compassion for this other person. Have the compassion for the situation that you're dealing with. Be soft, be gentle, right? Again, you don't have to be weak, right? But it's better to get it all out in the open, and make it easier for both you and this person to move forward. All right. I hope that makes sense. And I hope you guys have a good week. Bye-bye.